Director Questar, this is Bret McAllistar checking in from Sector Gamma 5, beneath the Dragos capital. I hope this transmission's coming through clearly on your end. The miniature dark mirror selfie spheres should be projecting my image in full 3D so you can move around me if needed. Just keep in mind, I'm technically standing on what you'd call the ceiling of this cavern. Or maybe I should say, hanging. The physics down here don't give you a clear sense of up or down. This chamber is approximately 120 feet high, carved into a geological blend that shouldn't exist in nature. The composition is a seamless matrix of basalt, quartzite, and obscurium 274. Let me unpack that for you, because I know you're not a geologist. Quartzite is actually stronger than granite. It's denser, harder, and far more resistant to abrasion and weathering. It forms when sandstone undergoes intense heat and pressure, fusing its quartz grains into an interlocking crystalline structure. Granite, although still very strong, is more prone to cracking due to its high feldspar and mica content. But quartzite, it's practically armor. Now combine that with basalt, and then imagine the whole thing infused with veins of obscurium 274, a material that, as you know, bends space-time itself. The walls, ceilings, and floors here are smooth and dark, almost glass-like, yet veined with glowing green filaments of obscurium 274. Those veins pulse faintly, as if the rock itself has a heartbeat. We've scanned sections where the ore concentration exceeds 40% by mass. That's unprecedented. On Earth, a fragment the size of a marble is worth a national budget. Here, we're walking through caverns where obscurium 274 isn't decoration, it's structural. Now, let me describe something we observed earlier while testing the gravitational anomaly in this chamber. I tossed a stone from my position across the open air toward what you'd consider the floor. As it crossed the midpoint between surfaces, it slowed, hovered briefly, as though suspended in a weightless pocket, then abruptly dropped in the opposite direction, pulled toward the floor above me, or beneath me, depending on your perspective. That midpoint is a null zone where gravitational vectors cancel out completely. Beyond it, gravity reverses. This isn't magnetism, and it's not air pressure. It's purely gravitational. We're seeing this phenomenon repeatedly throughout the tunnel system, and it's consistent with the hypothesis forming among our science team. Dr. Lena Vargas believes Dragos's core may not be iron at all. She's proposing it's molten obscurium 274. If she's correct, Director, this planet isn't just a geological curiosity, it's a galactic power source. To give you context, Dragos's diameter is nearly 16,000 miles, twice that of Earth. Yet its surface gravity measures only about 2/3 of Earth's, roughly 0.66 g. That discrepancy suggests a lower average planetary density. A molten obscurium 274 core fits that model and would account for the pervasive gravitational anomalies we're experiencing. Think about what this means. Dragos isn't just rich in obscurium 274. It may be a planetary-scale capacitor, a self-regulating fusion of exotic matter and planetary physics. The implications for both energy and military strategy are staggering. We've collected data from the cavern walls, the crystalline patterns where quartzite and obscurium 274 intersect, exhibit symmetrical geometries, recursive fractals, nested hexagons, and spiraling motifs. They're too perfect to be random geological formations. We may be looking at natural crystal growth shaped by planetary-scale forces, or these patterns could be intentional, an engineered lattice to channel or stabilize gravitational fields. The deeper we move, the more we notice functional anomalies. Our instruments experience brief surges of interference whenever we approach high-density ore veins. Electronic devices recalibrate themselves after a few seconds, as though the local environment adapts to our presence. This isn't an empty cave system either. Thermal imaging is detecting hundreds of life forms, Alpha-Rats hybrids. Some resemble pentillions, graceful, humanoid, golden-eyed. Others display subtle traits, iridescent skin textures, elongated limbs, and scaled patterns like snake hides. A few are more exotic, with anatomy that doesn't conform to Earth or Pentilian biology. So far, they haven't engaged. They're observing us from a distance, watching carefully. I'm not ready to call them hostile, but the possibility is on my radar. Director, I recommend you prepare for the Pentagon's top generals, President Tubman, and her advisory team to take a virtual tour of these chambers. This transmission includes a secure point-of-view holographic data stream. Authorized personnel can enter the feed from their VR suites and experience this environment as if walking beside me. But a word of caution, entering a chamber where the floor and ceiling are interchangeable can be disorienting. I suggest neural feedback stabilizers for anyone prone to vertigo. Ahead of us lies what we believe to be a central node in this subterranean network. The entrance appears sealed with a lattice of Obscurium-274, intricately carved and faintly luminous. No doors, no mechanisms, just an interlocking web that radiates a low-frequency hum detectable only through specialized sensors. We suspect it's a vault or a reactor, possibly both. If Dragos truly has a molten Obscurium-274 core, and if these tunnels serve as conduits or regulators, then Earth's strategic value to the Alpharats diminishes sharply. Their current mining operations on our moon may be stopgap measures, a way to extract small quantities while Dragos remains inaccessible or under political constraint. For Earth, the stakes are enormous. Gaining access to Dragos' reserves would make us a major player in the Galaxy Alliance overnight. Conversely, if the Alpharats consolidate their hold here, they become the most powerful civilization in the Milky Way. Director, I don't have to tell you what that means for Earth's negotiating position. For now, my team is proceeding cautiously. Every step into these tunnels feels like stepping onto sacred ground. The air is cool and dry, with an almost metallic tang. Our boots echo faintly on the smooth, glassy surfaces, and the faint pulse of green light in the walls gives the impression of a sleeping giant's veins. If I miss tomorrow's check-in, assume engagement or capture. Fallback protocols are in place. You'll have full access to this holographic stream for situational analysis. Until then, this is Lieutenant Commander Bret McAllistar, SEAL Team Arclight, signing off from the heart of Dragos. End transmission.